you have to believe that it's going to happen. Like inside, deep inside, there has to be a bedrock of unwavering belief that it is your time, it is your moment, that this creative project is meant to be born, is meant to be shepherded and created by you. You are also your greatest critic. You're also your greatest skeptic. The voices in your head that tell you it won't work, it's too late, it can't happen, you're too old, you're too young, you're too soft, whatever, okay? Those are going to be loud. They're going to try to get you to stop. But you can't stop. You literally cannot let yourself stop. You have to believe that it's going to happen. In today's video, we're going to talk about how your belief in yourself is the fuel and the bedrock for the creativity. We're going to talk about why you cannot worry about outcomes. You can't even think about it or project on it or hinge anything on the outcome. The outcome is completely effing separate, completely separate from what you're trying to do. And how your struggle to birth this, your struggle to commit to this, your struggle to be connected to the art is the art. Okay, I'm going to unpack all of this in the video. And hi, I'm Mandy. I'm a career coach and writer, and I talk about creativity and how to bring more joy into your life. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to ask you is, do you really believe that this is going to happen for you? Do you believe it? And you might waver. You might be like, I want to believe it. Of course I want to believe it, but do I believe that I'm really going to publish my book? Do I believe that I'm really going to, release an album? Do I believe that I'm going to restart my YouTube channel? Like, I don't know. It depends. Okay? It depends is coming from a logical place. It's coming from how we're taught to hedge our bets. We don't want to be too bold. We don't want to be too seen. We don't want to make a fuss. And what if it doesn't work out? Then we don't want to have been seen trying because that's loserish behavior, right? And this is where I'm going to need you to lock in, because the fact that you're struggling so hard with this means that you want it so bad. You want it so bad, you just don't know if you're going to be allowed to have it. And you're like, yeah, of course I want it, but whether or not I can make a living from it, whether or not I can be known for it, whether or not I can succeed at it, like that's a totally different story. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because belief comes first. Irrational belief, delulu belief in yourself comes first. Oh, but isn't this selfish? Isn't this narcissistic? No. Okay, we've been taught that because we've wanted to be good girls or good children or a model citizen or the perfect student. And so we feel like, oh, let me just sit in my seat and do what I'm told. God forbid I actually believe in myself. God forbid that I think that I have some innate talent. And that if I just work hard at it, if I'm just consistent, if I just show up, that can actually turn into something. God forbid I outshine anybody else. Okay, so we're taught to play small. But the tension, the reason why this pisses you off, right, is because we are not small. By nature, we are bright, luminous beings. We are people with ideas and creative fantasies and fiction in our hearts and drama in our veins. Like, we are big people. And yet in these little human containers, in our little jobbity jobs and in our little like role as friend, mother, wife, daughter, sister, whatever, okay, we're just taught, hey, can you just quiet the F down? Can you just be quiet so that we can have order and predictability. But creativity is risk. Do you see? Creativity is trying things that you do not know the outcome. So especially if you are in an industry where it's very outcomes based. We are a data-driven organization, right? We take our KPIs really serious. KPIs is control. KPIs is wrestling something beautiful to the ground and squeezing every living drop of life out of it so that it can be transported into some spreadsheet to deliver value for shareholders so that your lifeblood can be traded for certainty. And that's bullshit. I'm sorry. It's bullshit. And that is the core of why people are unhappy, I think. Is because our creative lifeblood, our creative juice is trampled and traded for order and certainty. When you can switch from I'm not sure and it depends and I don't know and I hope so to yes, come hell or high water, this thing is getting done. Right? From I don't know, maybe to don't know how, but gonna try. Okay? When you shift into that certainty energy, okay, we're not worried about the how. You'll figure it out. It's mostly just logistics. Okay? I am worried about the what. Are you gonna do it? Are you going to commit to it? When we move into the certainty mindset, we stop asking for permission. Okay, you don't need permission to be creative. You don't need permission to do what you want. You don't need permission to pivot. You don't need permission to take a break. You don't need permission to just sit around and reflect. Okay, you're not lazy. You're not stupid. You're not behind. You might just be reflecting. You might just be resting. We don't need permission. I need you to lock in to the energy of, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I want to do it, and therefore it will be done. Okay? That is the energy that will help you to finish. Let me give you an example. So right now I'm in the second draft process of my book. Okay, I had turned in, let's call it 22,000 words to my editor. For the next draft, she was like, you know what? Let's go for 40. Let's go for 40. And I was like, what? I was like, okay. And the deadline was a month. So that deadline comes up in about 2 weeks. Okay. I kind of fretted about it for a day or two. Was like, how the F am I going to do this? Like, I have to rearrange parts of my life. I'm going to have to focus on this. And a lot of resistance came up because the first draft process, as it was my first time, was very difficult for me. Some parts were really easy. Some parts were really hard to get the words on the page and the structure and knowing how to do it. Okay. But something came over me, and that something was a dogged determination where I was like, you know what? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And I opened up a new, because when I send the drafts, I send them over as Word documents, because that's just how the publishing industry wants it. But when I write in a Google Doc, right? Because that way I can write on the go. I can bring my laptop if wherever I am. Okay, gymnastics, an airport, like I could be writing. So I love Google Doc. So when I get the edits back, I have to take the Word doc and transfer it back into a Google Doc. And so I'm doing that. And then you have to name the Google Doc. And I named the Google Doc Career Wounds Draft 2, 40,000 words. Now, when I named it, it was 22,000 words. But I was like, we are going to name it as if it's already done. I'm already anticipating the moment when I turn this in, when I export to Word, reformat it, make it pretty, okay, double space it. I like to type in single space, and then, of course, at the end, I'll export into double space. But regardless, I named it 40,000 words because I knew I just got locked in. I got into a moment where I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm not, no excuses, no dilly-dallying, no fear. Just like, it's going to be 40,000 words. And guess what? I'm currently at 38,000. Okay? So you have to believe that it will happen. Point 2 is that you cannot worry about the outcomes. Okay? We're obsessed with outcomes because we don't like to fail, and because we don't like to mess up, and because we don't want to waste time. Okay, we don't want to mess up, we don't want to waste time. We want to be perfect, we want to be good at it out of the gate. It's mortifying to think that you might work on something that, God forbid, is not well received, is not good, and was a waste of your time. I mean, that's pretty much ego death, right? Where you were working so hard on something and then it was bad. We don't like that, okay? So we obsess about the outcomes. We're like, is it going to be good? Is it going to be well received? Is it going to get picked up by a publisher? Am I going to get an agent? Am I going to do this? All the thoughts, right? And the thoughts, which are initially just little farts by your brain trying to come up with, risk aversion, essentially trying to help you avoid pain, become sort of negative self-fulfilling prophecies. They become like, oh, well, what if this happens? And then that carries with it some kind of energy. And whatever patterning you're in, okay? So if you have people-pleasing tendencies, if you have fear of not fitting in, if you have ugly duckling syndrome, like whatever sort of childhood or teenagehood things that you wrestled with that are never really fully resolved, right? That comes up. And so what happens is you have the everyday concern of, let's say, will it be picked up? Will it be accepted by the public? Will I be recognized, right? These are very normal things when you're an artist, coupled with it's almost as if the present and your past pattern come and they fuse together. It's like your childhood patterns of wanting affection and wanting to be loved fuse together with this current modern day fear, and it becomes a third thing that takes on a life of its own, and suddenly the fuel of the past is embedded with this current concern, and it becomes absolutely suffocating and overwhelming. And you're locked by this. You're consumed by this. You don't know how to fix this. Okay? But we can't let our ego drive. The ego wants, think back to high school Freudian psychology, right? The ego wants what? It wants attention, affirmation. It wants to be logically correct. We can't let the ego drive this process. In fact, it's not about you and your worthiness, because in fact, you're inherently worthy. You are inherently lovable. Okay, you can be a shitty person and actually still be totally worth of love. Okay? Newsflash. It's not about you. You are a host for the creative project. You've heard that thing where it's like a creative project will look for its home, right? I think Elizabeth Gilbert talks about this. I think Rick Rubin talks about this, where creative ideas are just these floating third-party entities, and they look for a host. And whoever shows up, whoever is willing, whoever just is there consistently, is the person who gets to take that idea and make it into a reality. If I had not shown up and decided, okay, fuck it, I'll make a YouTube channel, some other person would have taken the energy of understanding kind of collective consciousness and some of the insecurities and worries and concerns, but also the parallel, similarly huge desires to create beautiful things, to create meaningful work. And they would have spoken on that. If it wasn't me, it would have been someone else. And if it's not you, it'll be someone else. So it's not personal. You're just out there with a net waiting to catch an idea. And you have to be brave enough to say, I'll do it. I'll do it, because everybody else is running around worried about what kind of thing they're going to catch in their net, worried about their net isn't big enough. Don't worry about any of that shit, okay? Just catch the stuff and then bring it to light. Like, that's your only job, okay? It's not about affirmation. It's not about ego. It's not about, am I good enough, smart enough, strong enough, cool enough, pretty enough, hot enough, desirable enough. It's not about any of that. You are enough. It is about, you're just with the net and you're just catching ideas. And if you're lucky enough, you're going to get an idea. And then you get a reputation in creative land as the person who catches ideas. That's why writers have hit after hit. That's why musicians have great song after great song, because they have now a reputation. Oh, that person over there, they show up. Let's go over there. It's just energy. You're just multiplying the energy. Lastly, I want to talk about this concept that has been bubbling up recently, which is that the struggle is the art. Okay, so I'm going to use my book as an example, but obviously this is meant to just illustrate something and you extrapolate it into your own life, okay? So I've been writing this book on career wounds. Healer, heal thyself. And because I have so many career wounds, that's why I became a career coach. That's why I started this channel. You guys know the drill, right? The main thing that I was wrestling with was that I felt such an internal pressure to figure it out. That somehow I had been someone who had been through this dark night of the soul, had struggled with my own career, and that I was on the other side offering a guiding, helping hand to those to cross over. A reassuring kind of, hey, I'm your tour guide. Let me now tell you exactly how to heal a career wound. That's a lot of pressure. Okay, so I set off on this journey, and I'm looking. I mean, I am reading every book on shamanism. I'm polishing up on like yoga studies. I'm reading Tibetan Book of the Dead. Like I'm looking for answers. Okay, and I'm in the shower and I'm meditating this, and I'm like, how the fuck do you heal a career wound? And I think to myself, if I knew, then I wouldn't be writing this book. Okay, and I realized the problem, which is that I was looking for a single bullet answer. I was looking for, hey, this is the shiny star. This is the 4-step process, right? And so my struggle with that, my feeling of like, God, why can't I figure out? What is it? Why can't I come up with a 4-step process? Why can't I freaking come up with a process? What's wrong with me? I'm trying to reverse engineer this. I think I've healed my career wounds. So why? I just need a phrase. I need a 3-letter thing. I need. Okay? And I realized that exact thing I was doing, that struggle, that want to control, that want to reverse engineer it or force it into some kind of box, right? That sort of feeling of being lost, out of control, wanting to catalog it and therefore process it and move on, that was a microcosm, that was actually it. That you can't. I mean, it's not that you can't heal a career wound. Like I did figure out a bunch of like strategies and exercises, but it's almost like the universe was showing me, oh yeah, you see how you're kind of spinning out right now and you're trying to figure this out? That's exactly the struggle. That's how it feels to be in relationship with a wound. You want it to heal so badly. It's not healing the way you want it to. You don't understand it. You try to understand it. You can't understand it, right? And so inside all of this is a bit of surrender, is a bit of, it's going to take more time than you need. You're going to need patience. You're going to need support. You're going to need friends. You're going to need to claim your voice. You're going to need to be brave, all of these things. So that's what I wrote about. But it's almost like you might think that you're in this epic struggle with your art, but actually the struggle is the art. Does that make sense? Please let me know if that makes any sense to you, because I feel like it was a big epiphany for me to be like, oh, so all my wrestling about trying to crack this nut, the feeling of the sweat and the discomfort and the kind of like exhaustion with that, I was wrestling with the very thing I'm trying to capture myself. And so if I just release and if I just observe myself in the situation, that in itself is going to reveal so much about the nature of what we're dealing with. Art isn't always easy. It often has this deep struggle. Okay, so in conclusion, and have you liked this candle that I lit behind me? It's for you. In conclusion, I need you to first and foremost believe, truly, truly in your heart, believe that it's going to happen for you. I need you to not worry about the outcomes because it's not anything we can control anyway, and one thing at a time. And I need you to know that whatever you're struggling with right now, whatever you're wrestling with, whatever you feel like, oh my God, I'm never going to figure this out, that the nature of that is made of the same protein, is made of the same material as the very art that you are creating. Okay. I hope you enjoyed that. It really felt like a download. So wanted to share that ASAP. And today's video is sponsored by me. I'm such a dork. But okay, as you know, I am, for right now, not taking sponsorships and instead taking a few minutes at the end of my videos to talk about my membership program, which I just launched. As of today, May 6th, there are 29 members, which is amazeballs. And I think we've been pretty active. I think we've been pretty good. I'm reading the comments, I'm responding. I'm even doing some sort of like short like responses through just, you can respond to member comments with shorts, which are basically like TikTok type videos. And so I've been doing that and posting that for members only. So if you want to get in on that, awesome. Also, if you sign up for the $5.99 option, let me show you the latest stuff I have. So these are the thank you. I send out physical thank you gifts. It's just included as part of your membership, and you'll just get a link. You go to my website, you fill out your address information, and then I mail you something. Okay. So I think I've already sent out about 15, maybe 16 of them. I did one yesterday. And here's what we are sending out now. I have these super cute Clyde Notes, light blue journals, and I know these are amazing, like they're the cutest quality, but I've started to get some notes as well from people being like, oh my God, the gift is so cute. So it's landing. My daughter helped me make these sticker packets, which I've been just sliding into the thing like that. And then I did get these note cards. They came in, I got them, and I write a handwritten note as well. Okay, so it says, from the desk of Mandy Tang. I don't know if you're like a stationery person. It's so nice. Look at the back. It's so pretty. And then these envelopes, I had to pay extra for them because I'm a psycho. And they were like not cheap either. I looked back at the receipt. I was like, Mandy, you paid like $60 for special envelopes. But I was like, they're pink. They're super thick, and look at the back. Doink! And so it goes in, and then I put a little sticker on there, write your name on it, mail it off to you. Okay, you guys know the whole thing is just an excuse for me to live out my dreams as a stationery shop owner. So thank you for helping me make my dreams come true. Okay, thanks so much, and as always, I will continue making these videos. Continue inspiring / annoying you with all of my antics, and I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Okay,